Hi, I'm Laura Ray and welcome to my channel. Tonight our live stream is all about my #1 makeup from the drugstore. So many of you have asked me, what do you recommend between these two products? You talk about a lot of different things. What's your #1? So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share what I'm using right now and what my #1s are from the drugstore. I'd like to welcome all of you joining the live stream right now. And then I'd also like to welcome all of you joining us in the replay. Now there will be timestamps for you to help you along in case you're only interested in certain products. So the way I'm going to do this tonight is sort of like a speed review. I'm going to go through everything that I'm using from the drugstore. I do try out high-end makeup so that I can have comparisons. But tonight what I'm sharing with you is all my drugstore favorites right now. Let's start with foundation. I was so thrilled to look on Amazon and see that they're carrying so many Catrice products. They're not in Ulta stores anymore, at least my store doesn't have it anymore. And one of my all-time favorite foundations that I like even better than my Estee Lauder Double Wear is the Catrice. This is their True Skin Hydrating Foundation. Now I talked a lot about the one in the dropper bottle. I love that one, but when this one came along afterwards, I found that this also was so long lasting but more hydrating than the dropper foundation that I had worn from Catrice that I loved for a very long time. So I'm thrilled that I was able to get this on Amazon. It runs around $11, so affordable, and I'm loving it. My shade is Neutral Sand, number 30, and that's what I'm wearing right now. It gives full coverage. So this is my actually long-wearing foundation recommendation because this lasts on my skin for hours. I want to stop for a moment and welcome the ladies that are here. Hello to Cheryl and Debbie. We're so glad analyzing my life, and Brandy's here. And Dee, welcome. I'm so happy she's all the way from Iowa. Well, we're so glad you ladies are here. And I'm talking about all my #1s, and let's go to full coverage foundation. My #1 for full coverage is the CoverGirl Outlast. I've used this for months and months. It really does. It gives you long wear too. Now I recommended recently dropping 1 drop of like jojoba oil in the foundation to make it more spreadable, a little more dewy, and I love the look of that. But I've used this for quite a while. I'm in the shade Creamy Neutral, number 820. So this is my #1 for full coverage. Now, I wanted to give a category to Serum Foundation because there are so many of these serums that have come out. My #1 is the Youthful Glow Serum from Ulta Beauty. I love this. It feels like the MAC Face and Body to me with a little oil added to it. The MAC Face and Body, I loved it because it was so thin, but it has a more watery texture. This is more of a serum, which I think is actually really great for mature skin like mine. I'll be 58 in July, so I need something a little more moisturizing. I used to have very oily skin. Now my skin runs from normal to it's sometimes dry. So this has worked really well. Hello to Linda, all the way here from San Diego, and Connie, and Karen, Chanel, Stephania, we're so glad you're here from Buffalo, New York. Wow, I just love having all of you here. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And I want to tell you about a #1 powder foundation, and then that's the end of my foundations I'm recommending as #1. It's the brand new e.l.f., their Camo Powder Foundation. Now, what surprised me is I usually dislike powder foundations. I really have not been a huge fan. I've used Bare Minerals in the past and loved that at times when I had struggles with acne and rosacea at one point. It really worked for me. but I like the look of a serum or a liquid foundation on my skin a little bit better. But boy, this is changing my mind. I love it. It's beautiful. Now, I bought Fenty because some of you ladies had said you're using Fenty and wanted a comparison. I actually liked this better than Fenty. I like the Fenty, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just felt like this gave a little better coverage, and it could even just be the shade that I bought, that this is a better match for me, but I just really love this. I'm surprised because I like this much better than the e.l.f. Camo CC cream that they came out with. So this has gone to #1 for powder foundation. I did buy the L'Oreal that they came out with several months ago, and I like this better. So those are my foundation recommendations. So the CoverGirl, if you're looking for full coverage, if you're looking for full coverage and long wear also, these are both great. The one from Catrice and the CoverGirl, they give me a pretty similar look on the skin. And then if you are looking for something a little more dewy, a little more serumy, then I love the Ulta brand, their Youthful Glow. That's great. So let's move on to primers. I have 2 recommendations for you. One, Silicone, and that would be Wet n Wild. This is their Impossible Primer. I like this because the texture, let me show you, the texture is of a silicone, but then as soon as you rub it into your skin, it doesn't feel like most silicone primers. It gets watery, and it just really is pretty and blurs the pores definitely, and fine lines. I like to use it around here, around my eyes where I have a little fine line. It just makes the makeup go on a lot smoother, look better, and that's what I'm wearing tonight. Now, for those of you that don't like silicone, that just want something more moisturizing, then I would recommend the Good Molecules. They're silicone-free. This is called a priming moisturizer. This is beautiful. It's got shea butter in it, other plant-derived silicones. This worked great on my skin. I always have concerns when I use these if I'm going to break out in a rash from them because I have sensitive skin, but this felt great on my skin. So I really, really loved it. And I want to stop for a second and welcome Tamara and Ronnie back. And Debbie says, Las Vegas in the house. Wow, we're happy you're here. And Analyzing My Life says, I wonder how the e.l.f. powder foundation would work on my drying, aging skin. Well, I've been using it in this time when it's colder here in North Florida, and I didn't feel that it dried out my skin. I would say if you use your regular moisturizer, let it dry down a bit, and then put the powder on, I would think you'd be fine with it. And Debbie, I think, Debbie, you were one of the people that mentioned to me about the Fenty, and I went out and bought it so I could try both. I think you'll like the e.l.f. I felt like I got a little more coverage from the e.l.f. And hello to Elle from West Michigan. Love Michigan. And Tamara is from California. Wow, that's such a beautiful state, California. And so Debbie says, I like Good Molecules brand. I use their toner. And MJ, watching from Nebraska, welcome. And let's move on now. We were going from our foundation and our primers. Let's go into some bronzers, highlighters. Now, there's a plethora of those at the drugstore. So, and I want to say too, I recently did a community post, and so many of you were sharing your favorite blushes that you love. If you want, you could go ahead and share those in the comments. Hello, Annette. We're welcoming you here from Texas. And I want to share with you one of mine, and that would be Flower Beauty. This is their Flower Pots, and this shade is Sweet Pea. I've worn this so much. I've had a couple of these. There's actually maybe 3 or 4 shades in these that I bought them over the years since they came out. They've been out a while. Some of the things I'm going to show you tonight, I just don't feel there's anything that can beat them right now. And some things are brand new that I've been trying out that I feel go to the top of the list for number one. But I don't think you could go wrong with these from Flower Beauty. They're pigmented, they blend beautifully. I just love them. They're one of my favorite blushes, and they're around, I think, $10, so they're very reasonably priced. Another one from Flower Beauty that I love is their Heat Wave, their bronzer. This, to me, feels just as nice as the Hourglass powder. Now, I have the Hourglass. I've bought several of them so I could test them out, see if there was anything at the drugstore similar, and the closest I came was this. Now, what I like is they have this shade, which is cooler, Sunrise, and this is a light one. They also have a medium one that runs a little more warm. So they have two of these, two different shades. I like this one on my skin, but the other one is beautiful too. And I just think this gives a very diffused, natural look on the skin, and I love it. I haven't found any that can top this at the drugstore. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. Now, one more thing I want to share from Flower Beauty is their Day Glow. Again, this is a cream highlighter that I have not found anything at the drugstore that can compete. Not yet, at least. I love this. It looks so natural on my skin. It's dewy. It doesn't get in fine lines or look cakey. It's not over the top bright. So I'm going to put a little bit on my finger, see, or my hand here. You can see where I've put it here. It's very natural looking. A lot of highlighters are very pigmented and show up maybe a little too much if you're wanting to wear it to work and that kind of thing. So this is one that I feel I can put on, wear it to work, wear it out at night, anytime. This is perfect. Now, one that's sort of newer to me, it's been out a long time, but I just didn't purchase it, is this one. You could land a plane on this. This is from Catrice, and this is their Sungasm. It's what I'm wearing tonight. Now, what I love about this too, it says face and body. So with summer coming up and spring, I know a lot of you will be wearing maybe things, dresses or tops where your shoulders are showing. You can add a little bit of this bling to the skin and it'll just look beautiful. I love this one. I'm going to show you. Now that has pigment, a lot of it. But look on my skin, I just put a dot here and here in the cheeks and blended it out, and you can see it doesn't look too over the top if you just don't put tons of it on. But I think this is absolutely beautiful. This will last me 10 lifetimes. Hopefully I live to 100, then I can get my use out of it. But it's so reasonable. I did want to say too that everything I'm talking about tonight is linked in the description of the video. If you either go to the show more or the down arrow, all of the links are there. I do get a commission from your purchase, a small commission, but I appreciate it so much. That helps pay for all the equipment I had to get for live streaming and, you know, the expense that goes in with having a channel. So I appreciate it so much. I want to move on to eyes, and I also want to see what you're saying here in the comment. Connie says, Laura, do you prefer cream or powder blush? I really can't choose. I love them. I think it depends the look. I love the cream that it gives me like a dewier, fresher look. If I'm going out and I want a fuller look to my makeup, I definitely feel powder gives a little more fuller look. But for that youthful glow, I love cream products. I like being able to go back and forth because there are some shades, like many of you shared your favorite shades. There are some shades of blush that I just love, like many of you mentioned the Milani Luminoso. I love that. I've had a couple of those. I love Milani blush too. It was very hard for me to choose. But I just feel like these Flower Beauty blushes come in just some unique and beautiful shades. So that's why I decided to share that tonight. And I see Tamara, I received Kosas bronzer and highlighter duo in the beauty box, and she's loving that. I have not tried that. I just got a foundation sent to me from Kosas that I'm trying out, their new one, and I really do like it. I think it looks great on my skin, so I'm testing it a little bit more, and then I'll share that with you. But so far, I'm very pleased with the look of it. Jackie says, I sometimes use lipstick for a cream blush, and you know, so do a lot of makeup artists. I was watching a video that Lisa Eldridge did, and she wanted a very natural look, and she did her lips and then just took her lipstick and put it on her cheeks, and she looked gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I like to do that too. When a little tip coming up here, if you have a lipstick that maybe didn't work on your lips, sometimes it works great as a blush. I had bought a shade of Wet n Wild lipstick, and I really didn't like it on my lips. It looked too pale. It was like a soft pink, but it didn't look right on my lips for a full lipstick look. So I used it as a blush, and it worked great for that. So that's sometimes you can do that too. I wanted to share with you, one of my subscribers sent me a message on Instagram, and she said, Laura, you need to try this. I had been trying to get the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, and it's just sold out. I tried to buy it again today, thought I had it, and then when I went to pay for it, it said, now it's sold out. I don't think it was when I went to order it, but I waited an hour or so, and it was gone. It said out of stock at Sephora. But this was supposed to be a dupe, and I wanted to try the two for comparison. So I can't speak about it being a dupe, but I can tell you this, I love it. And this is Makeup Revolution. And what this is, it wasn't meant to be a contour wand. This is an eye brightener illuminator, but it's in the shade Caramel. And it works perfect as a contour. So that's what I've done tonight on my cheeks. I just put it in the contour area here, right under the bone, and blended it. And I sort of blended it into the blush area so the two could melt together. I put a little bit in the forehead line, but I love it. Let me show you the shade so you can see it. Beautiful. It's got illumination to it because it's supposed to be an illuminating eye brightener. So I'm thrilled with it. I really love it, and much more affordable than the $40 I'm going to have to pay for the Charlotte Tilbury for comparison. But if you're looking for something like that, if you're in the market for that, then I think that would be a great alternative. Dana, welcome. She's here from Pennsylvania. And Leslie says, watching and listening while wrapping up a long day of work. Oh, bless your heart. We're so glad you're here. And Debbie says, peach tones don't work great on my skin. I like it on other women though. Yeah, I love peach, I think, because I've got a lot of warmth in my skin, but I know what you're saying because there's some cool colors I don't prefer on my skin. And that's a nice thing. I think the Sweet Pea blush, this is definitely a cooler tone blush. I think you might like this, Debbie. This might be one that you would like if you like a dusty mauve soft pink. That's the shade there. But I love that. I think it's such a pretty color and wearable. Even though I have warmer skin, I think it's very wearable on my skin tone. And hello, Julie. Welcome to the live. We're so glad you're here tonight. Now, we've covered my favorite highlighters, blush, and bronzers. Let's go into one of my favorite products, and that's eye products. I love doing eyeshadow, and I've got a whole bunch of goodies here. What I'm wearing tonight is a combination of a couple of things on my eyes. I'm going to close my eyes for a minute so you can see my eye look better. But what I did was I used this brand new palette. This has quickly become a favorite. I have so much eyeshadow. I have enough for 10 lifetimes. But I wanted to try this because it's affordable. I love Physicians Formula. They have a lot of great products. So this is their new eyeshadow palette. Now they had one in neutrals, but I feel like most of us have so many neutral palettes that I decided to buy this one instead. And I love the green. I think it's so pretty. These go on like butter. They go on like high-end shadows. The colors are just fabulous. And of course, green is like a color for this season. I'll just show you there. Look at that. So there's no glitter in these. There's just a beautiful shimmer to them. And I love them so much. Now, I have to say, for stick eyeshadows, I'm going to stick with e.l.f. I talked about them the other week. This is their No Budge Shadow Sticks. And I have several shades of these. This one is Champagne Crystal. That is great if you have like a nude look and you just want to add a little lightness to it. I like using these pencils right in the middle, right in the center here of my eye, and then blending it out. I don't put a lot in the inner corner because that tends to be where I have more fine lines. So I sort of just pat it into the center. But these are beautiful. This shade got me because I love mauve shades. This one's called Magnetic Pull. I think that's so pretty. All of the shades I'm talking about are listed in the description of the video. I have everything listed there. Let me see what else I've got in here for you. And then I have an answer to one of your questions from online. Here, this shade is Rose Gold. And I wanted that because, like Charlotte Tilbury, she has so many shades in her line that have this rose gold look. And I thought this would be a great affordable way to integrate that into the makeup. These are only $5, by the way, these sticks. So they're very, very affordable. Now I want to talk about a question that someone sent me. They said, what do you recommend for the waterline for eyeliner that's not going to transfer? Now that was hard for me because I normally don't put eyeliner in the waterline. I have in the past. It's just not something I do right now. But then it dawned on me that I had talked so much about this pencil that I love. It's from CoverGirl, their exhibitionist line. And this is a brown one. And I remembered Melissa55 took my recommendation and bought this pencil, and she always wears it in the waterline. And she did a little post on Instagram saying it did not transfer and how much she loved it. So that's what I did tonight. I put it in the waterline. Very affordable, beautiful pencil, and I have it in burgundy too. They make it in burgundy, and I think burgundy really makes your eyes, the white of the eyes, pop, just like navy does. So you might be interested in that. Hello to Mary, all the way from Ireland. Wow, we're so happy you're here. Happy St. Paddy's Day. I am Irish. My grandmother, her family, her side was from Ireland. And so to all my friends celebrating St. Paddy's Day, I want to wish you all a very happy St. Paddy's Day. Hello to Andy and also Julie. She says, yes, those eye sticks could be a dupe for some of the others. Yeah, I love them so much. And Rosa, welcome. We're glad you're here. And Mary. And so I want to tell you about a couple other eye products I think are amazing and why they're my number one. And first I want to talk about the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I've been using ink liner lately in brown and I love it. And what I've found is not only is it good for doing a nice line, but you can also, this was a tip that Lisa Eldridge had given in a video. She was going though with a regular pencil. I have been going into under the lashes with the ink. on the lash line, on the skin, but from underneath. And that sort of makes your lashes look a lot thicker. So I'm not putting it in the waterline. I am putting it on the lid of my eye, but sort of going from the bottom through the lashes. Just doing little dots with the ink pen, taking my time, and it gives a beautiful, very natural look to the eye, makes the eye look bigger. So I really like doing that. And then for mascara, I'm gonna go with Essence. I've had so much trouble. These lights are so hot where I'm filming right now. When I run the air in this room, it gets very loud. So I go without the air conditioning, but then I'm breaking into a sweat. But this mascara is one of the only ones that has held up while I'm filming. I filmed one of the lives a few weeks ago, had on a different mascara, and by the end I had mascara underneath my eyes. So this one is waterproof. Normally I don't wear waterproof to work, but I love this for filming, or if you're going somewhere for the evening and you just are really concerned your mascara is going to get all over the place. This is $4.99. I love it. Now for primer, I have two I want to recommend. If you're looking to sort of blank out discoloration on your eyelids, then I would recommend the Ulta Beauty. This is wonderful. I love it. It's so affordable compared with the MAC paint pots. It's about half the price, and it doesn't dry out my lids. I've had so much trouble with some from the drugstore, other brands that I used to use that worked fine a couple of years ago. They don't work now. They're just dry out my lids too much. So I love that. And then I can't believe I'm saying this is my number one. I used to not like this product. I thought it was such a waste and didn't work. I don't know if e.l.f. changed the formula or what they did, but this works amazing. Now this e.l.f. primer used to be $1. Do you ladies remember when this was $1? Now it's $3. However, the texture of it is a lot like the Ilia primer that I love so much that runs around $24. Now this doesn't have the sparkle in it that the Ilia does, but it's got that same thin texture to it. I think this is perfect for a mature eye, especially if you have any crepiness on the lid. So I use this anytime. I'm going to show you before it dries out. It's so thin. It's got a little luminosity to it. I love it. I cannot believe this has been flying under the radar, my radar, for so long. I will definitely be repurchasing this when I run out. It's amazing. And it really did keep my shadows on. Now, I got a question here. Do I use eyelash primer? I do, and I had it right here and I hadn't talked about it yet. I love the CoverGirl. I've tried so many. I do like the Essence one that they have, but for some reason I just love this the best. I can't even explain it to you. I don't know if it's the brush. Now when I saw this brush, I thought this has got to be the worst brush ever, but it actually works great. It grips my lashes. Some of the primers I've used are so clumpy when you put them on that it really turns your lashes into a mess, and then you're trying to cover up all the white primer. This doesn't seem to do that. So I really love this one, and it's very affordable too. This is one of the most affordable lash primers out there. I think it may even, let me check prices because I wrote down some prices. Okay, $5.62 on Amazon. Now, prices will vary. I know I've paid more than that at the drugstore, but on Amazon, $5.62, at least today, that's the price. So let's move on to brushes, and then we'll finish off with lips. So I recently purchased some brushes on Amazon. They came in a set of 27, and I believe they're still running the sale right now. They're having a sale on them. I did a community post, And I think these brushes are beautiful. Now, I believe you can order them with a white handle or black. I just liked the black handle, but they're just so soft on the skin. You have about every brush you could possibly want. One that I love so much, I like this flat little brush. Some of them have dark hair, and then some of them that came had white hair. Now this is the company Do Care. This is the brand that I talked a lot about. I've shown they have a gold handle with, it looks like glitter on it, and it's a double-ended brush. I bought those at least a year ago, and I never have shedding from them. They're just beautiful brushes. I like having a double-ended brush. I have one to show you in a moment. So I trusted that these were going to be good, and they came wrapped beautifully. They had like plastic over each brush covering them up. So I washed the brushes, and I've been using them. Beautiful powder brush. I use this tonight for my blush, and you can just see how soft this is. Just really gentle. So you have eyeshadow brushes, blush brushes. You can look in my Amazon store. I have it there, and you can see the different brushes that are available. They had a set on sale today that even had more in it. I had bought the set with 27. I think they have one for maybe a few dollars more, not much, with 32 brushes. So it depends what you're looking for, but great, great brushes. Now this brush I wanted because it is double-ended, and it reminded me of many I've seen. This is a different company. It's not Do Care, but I love it. I like how packed in it is. This is a nice brush for foundation and then concealer. So you can use this here, the outer corner, just to do your concealer or any powdering. Before I came on live, I went and took some powder and put it on here and everything, but love it so much. These were real finds. So I want to talk, before we I answer any other questions that you have tonight, about #1 lipstick. That's so hard for me because I love lipstick. I'm a lipstick junkie. I have so many different brands. I do love Revlon. I think they make amazing lipsticks. Flower Beauty makes amazing lipsticks also. But tonight I chose these from Milani because they're just so unique. I love the packaging, first of all. I think it's so cute, very durable packaging too. And then what really impressed me is these seem a lot like the formula of Charlotte Tilbury. They're a matte, but they're not a drying matte. They just are beautiful. I'll show you one right here, and I've talked about these before. Look at the pigmentation on that. That is incredible. Now this shade is called Petal, and I think that's the one I'm wearing tonight. I have several shades listed in the description for you. Now they also make one that is glossy. So I'm going to show you here. This reminds me a lot. Do you all remember the Revlon Butter Gloss lipsticks? I love those. I had every shade, and they were just so gorgeous. This reminds me of them. It's even cut the same way, just really super beautiful. So they have a variety of these pinker shades. This is a beautiful pinky nude. This shade is Secret, and I think that is, I'm running out of places here. Let me put on this hand and show you. It's got a little bit of peach to it, just gorgeous. But the formula of these, they're very long lasting. If you don't want them so pigmented, what I do sometimes, if I just want a little color, I just stamp it on my lips. You don't have to wear it that pigmented, but they are very pigmented lipsticks. Now one that's so unique that has become a favorite for the gloss is this from L'Oreal. This is a combination balm, let's see what they call it. I think they call it like a balm stain. L'Oreal Glow Paradise Balm and Gloss. So it's a combination of balm and lip gloss all together. It has a doe foot applicator. I'm wearing it tonight over the lipstick. I chose this shade because it reminded me of that Turkish Delight. Do you all remember that from NARS? That shade's still available. It was one that was really famous probably around 8 years ago. And this reminded me of it a little bit. So I love this. I bought another shade also. The formula of this is so nice. So if you're looking for something glossy and sort of a cross between a gloss and a balm, I think these from L'Oreal are absolutely perfect. So that's pretty much all of my number ones that I brought. I wanted to see if you have any questions for me. I see Debbie says that the brush I showed, the double-ended brush, let me grab that. This is very noisy brushes over here. It does look a lot like the IT Cosmetics brush. That's what Debbie was saying. I love double-ended because you're just not reaching for a lot of things. You can, buff in your foundation. What I did tonight, I took the True Skin from Catrice that I talked about earlier. I blended it with my fingers first and then took this into the brush and buffed it out. I went over it after it dried down a little bit. And that worked really well. So, and this works great too, like I said, for blending concealer out. And again, I really do love this True Skin from Catrice. This is a great concealer along with the one that I've talked nonstop about. It disappeared on me, but it's the Ulta Beauty Concealer. That concealer, the Youthful Glow, amazing. That is very thin. I would say that this is my full coverage concealer, where my favorite for the thin formula where you want to see a little more of your skin would be the Ulta Beauty, their Youthful Glow concealer that I've been talking about. And anybody have any questions for me before we finish tonight? I really had fun doing this video for you because so many of you have asked me, what is your number one? And right now, these are the number ones. Now, that can change because I'm always trying out products. So I'll update this maybe in a few months and let you know if I have some that beat the ones that are here right now. But these are the products that I just naturally gravitate towards. As I'm trying so many things, I'm very much an instinctual person and things happen organically. So I see what I reach for the most, and that is what I recommended as my number one, really. Hello to Sherry, we're so glad you're here. And Phyllis, she said, I just received Catrice True Skin Foundation. I've used it once so far. I like it. That's great, Phyllis. And let's see, I just absolutely love it. And I think if you haven't tried the Catrice True Skin, the concealer, you would love it. Even though it offers a little more coverage, I find that it's not thick at all. And I'm with you, Debbie. She says, no reason to use high-end. So many great drugstore brands. There really are. There's no need to feel like you're missing out on anything. So thank you so much, Leslie. I love looking for these products, trying things out, trying to find things that will work great on our mature skin. There's nothing wrong with aging. We're glad we're here, but we always want to look the best we can, just like when we were younger. So I think that doesn't change at all. And so I just want to thank all of you for coming tonight. Now, this Saturday, I have a video I'm very excited about. They're just products that give me instant results in under 5 minutes. Some of them give you results in about 15 seconds. And right now I'm wearing one that I'll be talking to you about. It's a lip plumper. And when I first started using this lip plumper, I didn't know if I could take the heat. But now I am loving it, and I put it on top of my lipstick and gloss tonight, and I really do feel it plumps my lips. It's very affordable. And what I noticed from this lip plumper is that the ridge of the lip sort of pokes out more, which helped me with doing my lip liner tonight. That made it a lot easier. You know, as we age, the line around our lip isn't quite as prominent, so it makes even putting lip liner on a little more challenging. So I think you'll really like this if you can tolerate heat. I know some people don't like lip plumpers that are warm, but this has peppermint oil and it does get hot at first. But I am so excited about that. So I hope tonight you'll give the video a thumbs up before you head out the door. I'd love it if you shared the video or invite any of your friends to our big makeup party that we're having. I'm so glad you're here. And also, if you'd like to join me on Instagram, same name, Laura Ray Beauty. I've been posting more videos of products in Ulta and stuff that are my favorites, sort of doing little compilation videos so you can quickly see, like I did one on La Roche-Posay. Those products saved my skin a couple of years ago when I had some real struggles. And so I have those. I did a little one on Good Molecules. So you might enjoy those if you're over on Instagram. And Leslie says, I like lip plumpers, but they can be expensive. This one, I believe, is under $10. So very affordable. And thank you to Brandy and all of you for coming. Carrie says, are there any products in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty that you're interested in? There are a couple, and I'm trying to think right now. There weren't a lot, to be honest with you, Carrie. There were a couple, and I know one of them is tomorrow. So I got to look it up and see which one I was thinking of going to get. I'm trying to think, maybe I can post something for you later in the community post, something that I'm interested in, but mainly things that I could use to compare to other drugstore products. I know that they're having the Benefit Gimme Brow. I did want to pick that up because I know that's a great product. It usually runs around $24, and I think it's going to be around $12, around half of the cost. So I know that was one of them. I can't think of too many, actually. So last time they had a sale, there were many more things that I think that I was really after. But I do want to mention, too, I have some YouTube shorts coming up. And one of them will be on a product that you all recommended for me to try. It is more expensive, but I'm loving the look of this in my hair, and it's K18. If any of you have heard of that, I will be posting a short on that. You might want to watch it and see my before and after, but that's something I've been working on too. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining tonight. I love all of you. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you soon. Hope to see you on Saturday. Take care. Love you all.